Very special friend of ours here. And I think you all know B, and we know B, and we love working with B. And here's one of B's colleagues as well. And we've got our spoiled agents coming in right now. And we're so excited to go over Karisma Hotels and Resorts so you guys can be the pros of this. Okay. So we're super excited for that. Just so you all know, we are recording the session. So this will go on B's pages later on spoiledagent.com. And of course, we are going to go live here on Facebook. We're live on Zoom. We're live on LinkedIn, and we're live on YouTube. So I know, B, you have been super, super generous about offering, of course, a great prize today. Can you maybe tell us what it is?
Yes, I can. Thank you. Thanks, Susan. I know it was so great to catch up with you before we went live. So we today are going to have a lucky winner, and that's going to be a 3 night stay at one of our Margaritaville properties. And that property is the Margaritaville Island Resort Riviera Cancun, and based on double occupancy. So good luck to all of you on the call today and joining us, because one of you will get to win that prize.
Great. So I'm going to meet you at the Q&A. So if anyone has a question for B or the team, please add it only to the Q&A. So it's just B and I today doing the Q&A. So we'll only answer what she has not mentioned, of course. And we are going to keep the chat for the chitter chatter, if you will. And we look forward to seeing you all at the very end. And B, I want to thank you again from all of us for your time today. I know you're a busy, busy lady, but I look forward to hearing all what Charisma has new to offer.
Great, thank you. So do you want me to get started or do you want to wait a
No,
minute or
we're
two?
good to go.
Okay, we're good to go. Awesome. All right. Well, thanks for the intro again. And it's almost like being home, especially if we were talking about old times. But again, we both started when we were like 12. So we just want to make sure that everyone is aware that we're not old ladies. Okay, so my name is Bee Barbero, and I'm the Senior Director of Global Sales for Charisma Hotels and Resorts. So today we appreciate the opportunity to be able to be with you today. And we know that everyone is busy. The weekend is coming up, but we're going to spend a little time talking about Charisma. And Charisma Hotels and Resorts. I'm sure it's a hotel chain that many of you have heard from. I know there are a lot of new advisors that have come into the industry, which we're super excited about. However, I want to give you a little bit of the background on Charisma, and really just to start by saying that today the hotels that we talk about are what is today Charisma's portfolio. And what I mean by that is if I don't mention the hotel, some of you might be wondering, but it means that they no longer fall under the Charisma Hotels and Resorts portfolio. So with that said, we'll get started. A lot of Charisma, so that is kind of the umbrella of the company, but we have consumer brands basically under our Charisma brand, consumer brands that have been brought into the hospitality industry. We have hotels in several locations. We've got something ideal for every type of traveler: family travel, honeymoon travel, group business, locations that are beachfront, others that are oceanfront, themed accommodations. So it really is something that can cater to every type of traveler and every type of budget. So the Charisma experience really has three major DNA that form part of what we represent. One of those is the culinary experience within the properties, our accommodations, and our toddler inclusive program. So our culinary experiences really stem from we were the pioneers to introduce an elevated upscale, traditional buffet to more of live cooking stations and food displays. And I know that's something that a lot of hotel chains have also piggybacked on and now experience that. But, we really were the pioneers that introduced that. Great experiences dining. We've got a la carte restaurants, we have themed restaurants, we have pop-up areas, there's on-site breweries. So a lot of different activities that you can participate in within your dining experience. And of course, with one of our brands being a very themed accommodation type of resort, we also have character experiences. So we'll get into that in just a moment as well. So our accommodations, one of the great things and highlights I love talking about is that swim up suites. Everybody seems to want to have a swim up suite, and that's something that we can accommodate in all of our hotels. And something to mention is that some of our hotels, and I'll touch base on that is that we also have swim up opportunities, not just limited to ground floors. Villas for families. So if you are looking for a more elevated, all-inclusive experience, we have villas, we have connecting rooms, we also have theme suites. And of course, within all that, we have great amenities that form part of the experience in your accommodations with the all-inclusive. One of those experiences that you can enjoy if you're traveling as a family is that our family-friendly product also has what is known as the toddler inclusive program. Now, for me, I think this now that I have a niece that is having little girls or babies and whatnot, it's so amazing to kind of relive this and go, wow, okay, you don't have to leave your entire house at home, or you don't have to bring your entire house with you when you're coming on a vacation. Strollers from bottle sterilizers and pack and plays, those are all available. And yourselves as travel advisors can certainly reach out to your BDM. And we can arrange these items to be prepared and ready upon check-in for your clients. So that's just a great convenience and just, really puts a special thought into parents, when they are looking at all the needs they need to have when they're traveling with their little ones. We are located in several countries around the world. So this is just a general map. Today, we're going to focus on the, let's say, Western Hemisphere of Mexico, Dominican Republic, and Jamaica, which is where the core of our resorts are located. However, we also do have an all-inclusive property in Montenegro, which is a seasonal property, and also a ski resort that is seasonal in Serbia. So that's a little different from the traditional Karisma portfolio. But let's talk about Mexico, Dominican Republic, and Jamaica, focusing on those three destinations today. The brands that we represent are four in total. First one I do not believe needs an introduction. That is Nickelodeon Hotels and Resorts, the Margaritaville Island Reserve. I'm going to stop on this slide for a moment because many of you may have heard of Margaritaville, whether it's from the original Jimmy Buffett song that he wrote in Key West, and then that became a big franchise into restaurants, casinos, bars, hotels, and other destinations within the United States and even some of the Caribbean islands, even a cruise ship. But it's really important to excuse me, to highlight that the Island Reserve is what differentiates and is under the Karisma portfolio. An Island Reserve simply means an elevated experience of the Margaritaville brand with the all-inclusive concept. Then, of course, we also have our Azul Beach resorts, and last but not least, our Karisma villas. So with that said, we also are so proud and honored to receive on a continued basis yearly all kinds of awards and accolades. But one that I want to highlight for you today is our autism double-checked program. And this is something that I think is also just such an amazing thing that Karisma introduced. Again, pioneers of introducing this type of program. Available at our two Margaritaville hotel, excuse me, at our two Nickelodeon and our Margaritaville Riviera Cancun. So family-friendly resorts. It's a very detailed program. You can reach out to our autism concierge email. There's also a lot more information if that's something you want to look into, take a deeper dive into, autismcheck.com. But to recap it for you is we have gone above and beyond and have staff that have received training and certification to be able to cater to families that are traveling with members of their immediate family or friends and families traveling together that need special requirements or needs, and we will cater to those. So I think this is just such an amazing, amazing program. So if you do have clients that have a family member that needs special attention or needs catering to, definitely this is something to consider. So let's talk about Margaritaville. We'll start with that. We have two Margaritaville properties located in Riviera Maya and Riviera Cancun. Even though you say Riviera Cancun and Riviera Maya, they're literally 5 minutes away from each other. The first one is the Margarita Island Reserve Riviera Maya. Now, this resort is the newest of the two properties. It is also the largest of the two. It was a new build opening in June of 2023. And this, of course, is our adults only concept. So 18 plus. The vibe of Margaritaville in general is laid back. It's, a lot of musical connotation, not just limited to Jimmy Buffett music. So I want to make sure everybody knows that. all kinds of music, whether it's live, DJs, and a lot going on around the pool areas. That's the big focus of this hotel. It is for the client that is looking to have some fun, is outgoing, wants to take part in things like foam parties and a lot of fun activities, whether it's in the evening or during the day. But it also has a chill vibe to it as well. So if you're looking for a quieter area, there are three different pool areas. So you can certainly select that based on your personal your personal taste and whatnot. The all-inclusive concept of Margaritaville, of course, is one to enjoy. However, over and above that, we also have a couple things to mention, which I think are important to highlight. One of those is that we have an amazing spa concept called Saint Somewhere. So that's something to consider if someone is interested in, indulging in a little pampering. Plus, we also have what would be the floating taco bar experience. So that is a lot of fun, a major Instagram moment to be had. So those are kind of two items that stick out to me for you to, mention to your clients, because we all know that going to an all-inclusive, there are always things that have an additional cost. If you are looking for a special cut or a bottle of wine that may be on the wine list versus the all-inclusive. But these are just two that I like to highlight that stand out to me. Also, this resort has meeting space, and if you're looking for someone to have either a meeting or a plan B for an indoor venue for a wedding or any type of event, we're also able to accommodate that. And the growing number one sport in North America today is pickleball, and we're so excited to be able to have two of those on site at our resort. And not only do we have that during the day, but we actually have an evening every week where we have glow in the dark pickleball. So it even gets a little more exciting. So the concept of the resort is a lot, as I mentioned, to do with Jimmy Buffett. Now, what does that mean in the sense of the restaurants and the bar areas and whatnot? Is that a lot of our bars and restaurants are actually named after some of his songs. So if you're a fan, you may know some of these, but I'll throw some out there. We've got 5 O'Clock Somewhere, SOS, License to Chill. Those are just a few of them. So it's kind of, again, it's got a little bit of a theme to it, with the Margaritaville brand, and all in there with the decor. The parrots, which are parrot heads for their fan club, is all presents that you see within the hotel. A lot of marine colors, very blue. So that's just the look and feel of the resort itself as well. So we have a couple of a la carte restaurants, from a steakhouse to Italian. And of course, we also have an on-site working brewery. So that is a lot of fun to experience. We even do weekly brewery tours, so you can learn all about how the process of making beer is all about, which is actually very enlightening. I was very educated when I was able to take part in this as well. So a lot of great opportunities, a lot of corners and nooks and necks that you can enjoy if you're looking, again, for a livelier experience or more of a chill out experience. We have a great lobby bar. We also have a concept when you check in. So you have your bracelet, which serves as, of course, your key, but you also receive points for the number of nights that you're staying and the the category that you've booked. And these points are actually for you to be able to sort of create or cater to or personalize, I should say, your own mini bar. So all of our accommodations and room categories have bottled water in the rooms, but then you can go down to what is called our Joe Merchants, where it is also a coffee bar, and you can of course get something to eat there. But there's a section where you can actually choose if you, for example, are someone who doesn't drink and just wants to get a few Diet Cokes, and you prefer Doritos over chips, you can certainly stock and personalize your own mini bar. So that's just something a little different. With our accommodations, we have all kinds of categories. I think I believe there are about 13 or so. But one thing to highlight for you is this is the hotel that I was talking about, those swim ups. You have ground floor options, but you also have options that are located on the 4th floor. There are accommodations that will be on closer to the water, so you have more of an ocean view. And of course, one thing to highlight is it is an adults only product, but that doesn't mean it's limited to couples. So one thing to make sure to consider is that we do offer a category called the Queen Paradise Room that has two queen beds. So it's ideal for a group of girlfriends that are traveling together that want to share the same room. So Margaritaville Riviera Maya, I think, is such a fantastic option. It's got a great vibe to it. And one of the first things that I do also like to highlight of this property is the property is definitely to focus and cater to the traveler that is looking for the pool experience. We are an oceanfront resort, but we are not a beachfront resort. So that is something to consider and talk to with your clients when you are, kind of figuring out, what option is best for them in regards to our Margaritaville experience. But do not worry, we're going to just go over 5 minutes to our Margaritaville Island Reserve Riviera Cancun. Now, everything I've just said about the floating tacos and the experience, the vibe, the musical connotation is all exactly the same. However, this property is I would say even more laid back, and it does have a beachfront. It's an active swimmable beach. It is more of a boutique size with 146 versus the 355 suites we have over at the Riviera Maya property. And because it's all ages, here's a couple things to consider. Obviously, we're going to have a kids club for the little ones to participate in, but you also have adults only pool. So that's something that you can consider when you're traveling either on your own as a couple or, adults, or in a family situation where some people have kids and others do not. So that's another thing that you can consider with this particular property. Margaritaville, the icon of it is, representative is, of course, the flip-flop, which tells a story of the whole Jimmy Buffett experience. And I mean, I can quickly tell you that it's a little kind of fun fact, but he was walking along the beach in Key West and his flip-flop broke, and he took a little can of like an aluminum can and kind of pieced it together so that he could walk through, went into a bar, and that's how he ended up writing the song of Margaritaville. So just a little fun fact there. Each of the properties also has, like, whether it's the roulette to choose your drink, blending bikes, for example, are a big thing at this particular resort. And I think I've got a photo of that in just a moment, but you can either blend your own margarita, or if you want to take a healthier lifestyle on that, you can blend your own smoothie as well. 4 different restaurants at this resort as well. Replicated is, of course, the Italian restaurant that we have on site at Riviera Maya. And one of my favorites, of course, is also Rita's Tacos. There's that blender bike. Okay, lots of fun. You don't have to be super active, just enough to be able to blend the drink itself. But Rita's Taco House is probably my favorite of all of the areas in this hotel and probably all of the Karisma properties. Such a great vibe. Eating tacos in Mexico, beachside, looking out into the Caribbean Sea is just spectacular. No words to compare. So with that said, the accommodations at this property, of course, include, aside from those swim ups that we've been talking about, we do have accommodations that cater to families where you can do obviously 2 adults and 2 children. The swim ups, now that we're getting into a family resort, one of the great things that I love about Charisma is that we do not limit the swim up suites to travelers without children, because there are safety locks on all of the doors, balcony doors, so there is no opportunity for a little one to get out there. So I think that's great. You're able to experience a swim out as a family. So again, lots of blues. You've got the parrots. It's just, again, a really fun vibe altogether. Again, laid back, but with that upscale all-inclusive that we've incorporated into Margaritaville. So one thing we'll talk about, and we'll talk about this when we get to weddings, is just plant a little seed in your head that we can kind of see this as one complex between the 2 resorts. So stay tuned. So Nickelodeon. So Nickelodeon is a product or a consumer brand, as I was mentioning earlier, that has been brought into the hospitality industry. So literally 20 minutes south of the 2 Margaritaville properties is where we have our first Nickelodeon Resort in Riviera Maya. I'm going to stay on this photo for a moment because I think it represents a clear explanation of the location of everything. So it's set on a very large piece of land. However, of course, we have shuttles that take you to and from the rooms, the Aquanic Park, and of course, the main building. Here you see the building that has all of the rooms categories located in. So all guests will stay in this building. What do we see here? All of the rooms have an ocean view, and every single room, no matter what floor you're on, has a swim out plunge pool. Then in the background on the left-hand side is the main building, which is where the lobby and the majority of the restaurants are located. And in the far back is where you see the location of the Aquanic Park. Now, of course, the highlight of Nickelodeon, well, I mean, there's a few things, or there's a lot of things actually, but Nickelodeon is very well known for slime, which is the slime time green. It is the main character is SpongeBob. However, there are many, many characters, some of you that you might be surprised, form part of Nickelodeon. From some of us that are a little older, starting with Garfield. From the 90s, you have the Rugrats. And today, really popular, the Paw Patrol gang, and I mean, many more of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So there's a lot of fun to be had, and it doesn't matter what the age is, it brings out the inner child in all of us. So highlight is, of course, the Aquanic Park. This is the leading water park in the destination. Every day, the water turns green. I was talking about that green slime experience, but over and above that, you are able to do a private slime if that's something that, toots your whistle. You can go ahead and do that as well. The water park has over 21 slides. There's lazy rivers, faster ones, slower ones. There's, of course, an area that's dedicated to younger children that's Paw Patrol themed. We also have an even smaller sort of waiting area that's Blue's Clues. And what's great about the water park as well is that once you're in there, you do not have to leave the park in order to get something to eat or drink. There are food stations around the water park, from burgers to tacos to pizzas. So those are great options. But if you're also looking for a sit-down meal, you can go ahead and do that at the entrance of the park, where we have our great food display, live cooking stations that you can select from and have a sit down. So as far as restaurants and bars, it's a whole experience dining in these, because many of them are themed, and also a lot of menu items are themed within the restaurants themselves. So whether it's Bikini Bottom, which is SpongeBob related, to a Good Burger, which is, very much themed on the movie, and the wait staff will actually come in and quote from the movie itself. So a lot of fun to be had. And then over and above, we talked about, this at Margaritaville with the brand. Here I mentioned the private slime already, but one of the main attractions as well is going to be the character breakfast. So you could do a character breakfast with all of the characters themselves, or new to the character breakfast is a dedicated one with Paw Patrol that, again, is very, very popular today with the younger children as well. Hence, that the characters are available to see. You don't have to have this over and above all-inclusive concept experience, but all of them are around when you check into the hotels. There's an app. You can see where they're going to be located, what times, who. So there's plenty of opportunity to interact and have a meet and greet and a photo with the different characters. In the evenings as well, just right outside of the park, or kind of at the entrance of the park, I should say, we have a theater, we have orange carpet. So there's shows every evening and lots of fun things going on throughout the day and evening. So the focal point, of course, during the day is going to be what would be the Aquanic Park, but there is a pool at the very front, facing the beach as well, with its own actually 2 swim up bars. So you can also enjoy that, and of course the comfort of having your plunge pool in your room as well. So when we go into the accommodations of the Nickelodeon Riviera Maya, it's pretty easy to remember, because all of the rooms, as I mentioned, face the water. All of them actually have 2 full bathrooms, so that's really great when traveling as a family. And you also have you basically have 2 choices. You have a room with a king, with also a Murphy bed and sofa bed, or a room with 2 queens. So the only sort of tip that I'm going to give you is, if somebody is traveling with a larger family and wants to be together, it's important to book them as the connecting options, because, again, if you are booking, for example, a ground floor ocean or oceanfront pool deck, that's the ground floor that connects to the main pool. But then if you book a king penthouse, well, clearly that is impossible to do connecting, correct? So that's just something to keep in mind for larger groups of friends and families as a tip. And over and above the accommodations with the categories that are located ground floor, second to fifth floor, or the penthouses, we also have our theme suites, which we have four of. We have two big kahanas, we have a pineapple suite, and we also have what would be the lair suite, which is themed Ninja Turtles. So that's a lot of fun. And when you are booking these elevated categories, you also have more inclusions and amenities. And one of those is going to be that the character breakfast is included as part of the all-inclusive in these particular categories. So lots of fun to be had with these options and categories. And it is a great experience for families. As I mentioned, it doesn't matter how old you are. The experience is really quite incredible to if you're traveling with children, to just see their faces, their expressions, and just how happy seeing all the different characters has them. So great experience overall with the Nickelodeon in Riviera Maya. But let's take a little plane over to Nickelodeon in Punta Cana, which is actually the original Nickelodeon resort. So the concept of this resort is exactly the same as I pretty much mentioned, with the characters, the shows, evening entertainment, the water park and whatnot. However, the layout of this property is very different. It's more spread out on a smaller piece of land. But it actually has a lot more rooms than the Riviera Maya property, actually double. So here, the attraction, of course, is the water park. We've got some really great characters all over the place. I love seeing all these. It's kind of, gets me in a good mood. Beachfront hotel, 45 minutes from the airport, really a fantastic experience. And here the restaurant setup is a little bit different. So I want to kind of highlight that too, because every hotel has their own personality. The majority of the restaurants are located in centralized in an area called Gourmet Village. The restaurants that we have are going to also be themed. We have our Spacewalker restaurant that has, the kids get to wear their space helmet. The staff actually comes over in spacesuits to take their orders. So that's kind of a fun experience. We also have Burgers PH, where the highlight there is the machete burger, and it is cut with a machete. The burger is over a kilo, and of course, to be shared. We have some really fun areas that opened a couple years ago. So those are new. One is the Snick Lounge, which is a replica of the one we have at Riviera Maya. So this is a fun all ages, live music, DJ, contests, pool tables, arcade games that are included. So it's a great place for parents to have a cocktail and enjoy that while the kids are having some fun as well. And my favorite place, again, this is probably my second favorite place after Rita's Taco. Well, probably a close tie for first, but which is the Sweetery. And this is a coffee bar, something you can grab a light snack or something to eat, a donut shop, and an ice cream parlor all in one, themed Rugrats, Wanda and Cosmo, and Garfield. So lots of fun there. And we also have an Asian restaurant, an Italian. So again, a lot of variety. Same concept with the characters that you can see them in different areas at specific times. I was recently there for an event, and I had a great opportunity and had photo ops with Patrick, who is SpongeBob's best friend, and I also got to see. Sky from Paw Patrol. I actually didn't have a photo with her, so that was a lot of fun. And our accommodations is again are start at Nest, Flat, Swank. I know they're kind of funny names, but the location of them based on pricing is that you're closer to the water. All of the ground floor buildings and all of them have a swim out option. And here we also have a different type of accommodation, which instead of the suites that are themed on the top floor in Riviera Maya, here we have 4 super villas with their own pool. It is a split level. And here, one of those currently is themed, which is the Pineapple Villa. So I can guarantee that the Pineapple Villa is the only one in the entire world, right? The colors color schemes for both Nickelodeons, lots of oranges, lots of greens. It's a lot of fun without going over the top. So it's a fun experience. And again, when you are booking the Pineapple Villa, you also have that inclusion of the character breakfast. But in this case, SpongeBob is actually going to check you in. How fun is that? So that is kind of a sort of introduction to the Nickelodeon product and what's going on with the two hotels in Mexico and in Punta Cana. So before we move on, or actually, I'll tell you a little bit later. We also have, of course, we cannot forget our Azul Beach Resort, and this hotel is located on the most beautiful stretch of beach in Negril, on 7 Mile Beach. It really is so picturesque in the background with the beautiful sunsets because of the location of the resort itself is just unbelievable. It is a perfect backdrop for weddings or for anyone that's traveling. Again, a more intimate feel. It's not a huge property, 283 suites, different categories. Again, lots of variety depending on, someone's personal choice, number of people traveling, and of course, we have to consider their budgets as well. With us now arriving in Jamaica, this is the third country of Karisma's portfolio where our hotels are located. So I love always to mention, I'm sure that you encourage this from your clients, but we're in Jamaica. Got a different culture, you have a different vibe, you've got reggae music, Jamaican cuisine, and that's something that we really take pride in promoting, the everything I just mentioned in the different countries that we have our hotels. And of course, everyone really should walk out the front door of their all-inclusive to experience these countries and their culture and whatnot. Very close to our resort is Rick's Cafe, which is a very famous sort of landmark that everybody likes to go check out and have a beer and watch people jump off the cliffs. So that's really relatively close to the resort to experience. We have 9 different restaurants on the resort, and the layout of the property is very much like lining the beachfront. So it's really quite beautiful to watch. And the water, I mean, I don't think there's anything I've ever experienced that could be more swimmable. It basically is like a pool. So lots of fun to experience there. Accommodation wise, as I mentioned, we've got swim up options for everyone. And, the vibe of this hotel is very much also because it is all ages, very multi-generational to have that option. But also, just like our Margarita Riviera Cancun property, we do have an adults only pool area. So that's something that they can enjoy, again, whether you're traveling on your own or combining that with a family experience as well. So something for everyone. Karisma Villas, we're back to Mexico. We have 2 of these, and these, of course, are for the client that is looking for an elevated, all-inclusive villa experience vacation. Villa Esmeralda is one of them. Both of our villas are 6 bedrooms, 6 bathrooms. You can have 12 persons in there. And these are really great because I love highlighting the fact that, of course, you have your chef, you have your butler service, you have access to the all-inclusive property next door of the Margaritaville Riviera Cancun. So it's kind of like stay at the villa, play at both. So this is definitely an enhanced opportunity for anyone looking for this type of experience. But also, it can be used as a venue for a wedding, for example, or a rehearsal dinner where you can have some of the friends and family staying in the villa itself. So just something to consider as an option as well with our villas. So both of those are located in Riviera Cancun. So again, and all of these categories, all of these hotels, whether they're the Pineapple Villa, the theme suites, the villas themselves that we're talking about now, and all of our swim up option are available through your favorite tour operators. So let's talk about groups for a moment, because I'm sure some of you dip into this niche. So just want to highlight some things for you is that we introduced a program called WISE, stands for Weddings, Incentives, Social, and Entertainment Groups. So really with all of our tour operator partners, we have concessions, for the Canadian market, it works, on a per person basis. And for the US market, it works on a per room basis, just because that's, kind of how the traditionally we work, or the markets work together. So aside from those, then you can actually personalize a little bit more and go further. We have extra concessions based on the number of rooms and based on the brand itself. Why is it divided by the brand? Because our brands are so different that the inclusions that you can have are different and unique to the property. So, for example, if you're staying at the Margaritaville property, you can have an inclusion of a floating taco bar. And if you are staying at a Nickelodeon, for example, you could get one of those private slimes included. So it's kind of fun to just consider those. And it starts at 5 rooms. So you really don't have to have like, a big, huge group, a contracted group. It can be for FIT groups that you can indulge in these extra inclusions. And then when we talk about weddings, all of our resorts have this option. We've got some great wedding packages, including the Crazy for You that you see there listed at $1,100. We actually do have that as a complimentary package, as long as it's minimum 3 nights, minimum 7 rooms. The inclusions of this particular package are complimentary. So that's something to consider. We have sky bars, we have beach locations, and even, Nickelodeon, which may not sound like a resort or a type of hotel that you would have a wedding. We do have weddings there as well. So this is where I'm going to jump in and mention 2 things. When we were talking about Margaritaville, Margaritaville has 2 concepts, family, all ages, and adults only. So we can consider a group travel for a wedding as one when the wedding takes place in one of the venues that are private. Children are able to attend, and we'll actually even throw in the transportation on a complimentary basis on the day of the wedding to transport from one hotel or the other, depending where they'd like to have their ceremony and reception. And our live operating working brewery also has brewery weddings, so it's kind of a cool concept. There's always some kind of trend. I know, I think it was last year, people were getting married in barns. Why not a brewery in destination? That's something that's kind of unique and different as well. So that's basically our, wedding program. We've got a great, we have a great team. We're actually in the middle of growing this team, but head of the weddings and groups team is actually Alejandro Perez. He's our senior director. So and we'll talk about your BDMs in just a moment as well. But basically, this is the portion of groups and weddings that then goes and is followed up by this particular team. Also, our seasonal events are something super important because we actually have a lot of clients that are also repeat clientele, and they like to know what's happening. So we work very, very closely with all our tour operator partners to market and promote so that you as a travel advisor receives what is happening. One thing are promos. So we're actually just launching a toddlers free promotion in Punta Cana for our Nickelodeon property for travel in September and October. So that's something that, you'll find out about, of course, and that we promote. But these are activations. So today, for example, we're right in the middle of our podtastic adventure because it's for younger age children that are maybe preschool aged or not yet going to school. And we're heading into probably the busiest season for us, which is the summer of SpongeBob. It's his birthday in July, so there is a lot to be said of what's going to be happening there. And for the Margaritaville brand, we're heading into our summer of music, which is just additional lineups of guests that come in and perform live. So that's super exciting. And of course, with our on-site brewery, we have to celebrate Oktoberfest. But new this year, we actually, and I believe I don't have the confirmed dates. I just know it's in October sometime at this point. We are going to have the Beach Boys joining us. So that's going to be a lot of fun too as well. And of course, our seasonal events in Jamaica, the Sand in Your Soul. So that's very much into the culture and the reggae music and everything to do with the vibe in Jamaica. And here's something that's important. You guys are so important to us. And I should mention, I should have done this at the beginning, but Happy Appreciation Travel Agent Day, Travel Agent Month, and it's Travel Agent Year. You guys are heroes. Everything you've been through and the challenges that we keep being kind of hit with. It's one thing after another, but we come out strong, and it's amazing just how much the shift is going on. I'm really noticing now younger generations that are looking for the travel advisor. They're gearing away from the onlines and whatnot. They want a full service, knowledgeable person, and that's you guys. So, with that said, we do have a portal. It is called charismatravelagents.com. So this is something, and you can find a lot of information that I'm going to talk about now on Spoiled Agent, because we obviously replicate everything from photos, logos, fact sheets, and promos and things. But the most important thing about oh, excuse me, I just hit that accidentally. The most important thing about the portal is to register your bookings. Now, some of you might be kind of a little bit like, oh, what's going on with Karisma? We are going to be introducing a brand new loyalty program this summer called CARES, and that's CARES with a K. So keep registering your bookings, because we will have, once we launch it, depending on your bookings and the number of room nights and whatnot you have, you'll be awarded, certificates and status, and it's going to be a really great program. And I'm super excited to launch this this summer. So you'll be hearing more about it. We've sent out a couple of teasers, so maybe you've heard a little bit about it, but this is brand new and we're super excited to launch it sooner than later this summer. So with that said, we also have, this is our travel advisor hub. This is something that we could put together because more and more we've realized that you don't want to pick up traditional brochures anymore. But that's kind of come and gone. I mean, a few of you I'm sure still do, but it really seems to be, not having to carry it out to your cars after trade shows, or if you're going to events that you're traveling, you don't want to have to pay excess baggage or something like that for overweight for brochures. So this is our QR code that also links you to our charismatravelagency.com site, which has all of the material that you can have on there as well. So, hold on a second. Why is this? I think a photo is missing here. Oh, no. Okay, sorry. So, excuse me. I apologize for that. We have our exclusive Facebook group. So if you are not following us, for the Canadian travel advisors, it's Charisma Agents for Canada. And for our US travel advisors, it is Charisma Travel, excuse me, Charisma Travel Agents for USA. So make sure you join us because we do post on there. We actually just did a contest for Travel Advisor Appreciation Day. It was like a little bingo thing. So that's another way to keep connected as well. And then, of course, last but not least, we have our team. So this is our retail team. We are small but mighty. Most recently promoted to senior regional sales manager, still looking after his territories, which are North and Southeast, is Luis. Midwest and Texas serviced by Deanna. Pamela, who basically has joined us about a week ago now or so, is overseeing now West Coast. We have of course, our inside sales admin support. And so that's Christy. And of course, overseeing our national accounts. And of course, also our wonderful Canadian advisors is Anna. So that's the team. That's who we are. And we're here for you. And we would really love to connect with you. If you haven't met your BDM, please reach out to them. They're traveling here and there. They're posting on Facebook, so important to follow them. I know Deanna's going to be in Iowa next week, so if you're on this call and you're located in Iowa, that's somebody who you can go out and meet in person and establish a relationship with them. So, with that said, that wraps it up for Charisma. We're so excited to have this opportunity to share all our updates. I hope I actually don't have my phone in front of me, so I'm not sure if I went over the time. I got excited, Susan. I'm sorry.
Oh, it doesn't matter. You are an amazing ambassador. I swear we are all learning from this. And I love that you gave really great comprehensive updates as you always do be. So, but we do have some questions. We have a few minutes, of course, to take them if that's okay.
Perfect.
So I guess just in general, Crystal's asking on Zoom, do your resorts offer any dietary needs when people have special, maybe, gluten-free or allergies, that type of thing?
That's a great question. Yes, absolutely. I mean, in today's world, you have to. You got to, get with the program and be able to cater. So yes, dietary restrictions, allergies, gluten-free. Obviously celiac, which is, sometimes it's not by choice; it's a medical condition. Vegan options, and we pretty much will cater. If it's something even more specific, again, reach out to your BDM. We'll connect with the hotels and get something set up for them. So we'll do our best to accommodate them.
Okay, great. Elisa on Zoom is asking, how is the beach at Margaritaville Riviera Maya?
Well, today there is no beach.
Okay.
So it's funny. Okay, so Mother Nature, as you
Yes.
know,
Yep.
can be our friend and can be like our enemy. So originally there was a beach at this hotel when it opened. Unfortunately, due to, storms that have gone through, we do not have an active beach front. It is an oceanfront property. However, and I mean, this is just, if you're happens to be your lucky day, there are days that, the sun comes out and we just happen to have a beach for a couple of days. And when that happens, we do set up, some lounge chairs and whatnot out there, but it's not an everyday thing. So we certainly cannot promote it as a beachfront hotel. But I also want to stress that you can go into the ocean and swim. So, we've got stairs on both sides. You can go down and actually go in for a swim. That's not a problem.
Okay, great. Just a couple comments, which I'm going to share everything with you. But Mick said, thanks for this great presentation. I just had a family return from the Nickelodeon and the Maya. Love it.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah,
Make
love
sure you register your booking.
Mick, register your booking there. I know he's a great follower of our spoiled agent and yours, B. So, Savannah also said, love this brand, especially things like SpongeBob. Love it. Okay, let's see here. So, Patty is asking, is this the Margaritaville? Is it adults only next to the El Dorado Royale? Is the Nickelodeon complex also there? And how is the beach?
Okay, so if I understood that correctly, the Margaritaville Island Reserve Riviera Maya is
Okay.
not next door to the Dorado. Uh,
Okay.
Next door to what used to be, okay, Azul
Yes.
Beach Resort, which today in your world today is now an Iberostar. So
Okay.
that's where that one's located. The Nickelodeon Riviera Maya is located next to one of the resorts that is under the Lomas Hospitality Group. And the beach, I'll be honest, it's not a fantastic beach, but I don't really consider that a down like on a downside because the main attraction really there is the water park. Like every time I've been there, I've never seen anybody on the beach.
Okay. Perfect. All right. And let's see here. Neil is asking our buddy Neil, can adults stay at one Margaritaville and play at both resorts?
No. So not at this time, except for where I was mentioning about the wedding, but that would only be the day of the wedding itself. It's something that may be coming, but it's not anything like currently in the works.
Okay. And Eric is asking, are the floating taco bars at all Charisma resorts?
No, these are specific to the Margarita Island Reserve brand. So and it's really fun. And you know what? It's such a great way to make friends. I actually did it myself and I had about 15 friends in the first 5 minutes that boat came out. So great, great. It's a great way to socialize.
Love it. Diana's asking, is the water park included or is it extra?
No, the water parks are included. They're part of your all-inclusive.
Awesome. Okay. And actually, Patty's asking, can you maybe give us the ages for the water parks? What's the oldest and the youngest?
It's all ages. So what is I mean, I don't want to say restricted. What there is where we enforce something is for the slides, it's not an age thing, it's a height thing. So just like, when you go to an amusement park of some kind,
Right.
it has to be a certain height. If you meet the height requirement, you can go down the slide. But otherwise, it's for all ages.
And Lori's asking for me a question. Lori, yes, this session's being recorded, of course, and it'll be later on B's page. So you just go down to spoiledagent.com, click on hotels, and click on Charisma Hotels and Resorts. We're going to add it there as soon as we're done here today. So we know a lot of you like to go back and refer to questions, so we always do that for you. Terrence is asking, how long is the transfer time from Negril Airport?
From Montego Bay to Negril, it's under 2 hours. It's about an hour 45.
Okay, so I have two questions about the Azul from Robin and a Nick.
Mhm.
Robin's asking, is the Azul all-inclusive? And a Nick is asking, has the Azul been renovated lately?
The Azul, yes, in Jamaica is all inclusive. It has not had major enhancements. That is something that is in the works and being discussed. So we'll definitely keep you updated when that is confirmed, but it is in the works.
And Donna on Zoom is asking, where can we find information about Val renewals?
That's actually just, I'm just trying to think here. It is on our charismatravelagency.com, and I'm sure it's probably on Spoiled Agent. If not, please reach out to your BDM and they can hook you up with that information.
And actually, to that point, B, if you go to spoiledagent.com again, of course, in the Karisma Resorts, we've got also tools for you, the tool hub, fact sheets, all sorts of great information, agent rates, incentives. I mean, it's all there. Like B said, we house it all for them. I'm just going to head over to Facebook. I see Brittany's asking, do you ever get honeymooners in the Pineapple Villa?
Actually, I just think that's such an entertaining question, and I'm not sure how to answer that. No, you know what? Everybody has their tweaks or
Yeah,
tweaks.
yep,
Yes, I mean, we have. It is, well, you know what? It's just like anywhere. When you think of Disney, for example, right? Like
yeah.
people do like Star Wars themed weddings, and you've got something for everybody. And that's what I was saying. I was in Punta Cana a couple weeks ago, and this was a wedding, and it was kind of fun because it was a blended family. It was like a second marriage. And they had some characters, like it was really cool, right? So it really just, depends what people are up to. Some people are just, I just learned something about a friend. I'm not going to tell you who it is, Susan, because you'll be like,
Oh,
but I had no idea she was like a total Patrick fan. Like she actually showed me her Adidas special edition Patrick shoes. And I was like, I didn't even know that existed, right? So it's so funny what you can learn about people, but all ages, right? Some of us are obsessed with one thing, or I mean, I shouldn't say obsessed, right? That's probably
enjoy.
the correct word to use, but just, very, very happy about certain, whether it's themes, shows, characters, like we all have our thing. And it's like, if somebody, I'm trying to think of an example, like some of us are huge pet people. Like if you told me, oh, I can go stay at a hotel and, it's full of dogs and all I get to do all day is play with dogs. Oh my gosh, I would be in heaven, right?
Yeah.
Somebody else might think, okay, this person's crazy, but yeah, so yes, we have had people stay in the themed accommodations that are not maybe a traditional family.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, some people like to get married in theme parks and do different stuff, to each his
Yeah,
own, right?
yeah.
Hattie's asking, where will the Beach Boys be performing? And do you have to stay at the resort when they're appearing? And will there be a charge for the concert?
It is being finalized, and I know it's October. I should know exactly the dates next week, which I could share with you, Susan, so we can put it on, on the site.
Of course.
It would be at Margaritaville Riviera Maya, the adults only.
Okay.
And as far as I know, there is not an additional cost. It's for the guests that are staying at the hotel. Do not quote me on that yet, because I'm still waiting for the final information.
Okay, perfect. And Patty's asking, so when you launch cares, how far back will they be able to register for bookings that maybe people have already traveled?
That's a very good question. So, one of the highlights of this new program, so I can kind of give you a sneak peek, is you will be able to register a booking up to 3 months after the clients have traveled, because that was one thing that we really sort of analyzed, and we are all busy, we forget. And, a lot of programs, have it tied in where, if they've already traveled, you're out of luck, that's it. So, you will have 3 months. So, um, anything like if you haven't registered it, basically register it. You've got 3 months from the day if somebody has checked out.
Okay, perfect. Let's see here. Okay, so Gina says if we want to go and experience the properties, can we do site and visits? How can we, go see, or do they get passes if they want to go visit with the on-site wedding coordinators if they're in
We're
destination? How
like,
does that work?
yes, yes, yes. Okay, yes.
Perfect.
So again, on our charismatravelagency.com, you can go on to our site inspections. That's one way to do it and request it online. It goes through Chris, it goes directly to Christy, who you saw a photo of earlier,
Yep.
and he will coordinate with our on-site sales managers to arrange that site inspection for you. That's one way. Or again, you can just reach out directly to your BDM. Our BDMs are based in Cancun. So if you're planning on visiting one of the hotels in Cancun, and they are in town, not traveling, promoting the hotels or attending trade shows or whatever, I'm sure they would be happy to meet up with you and be part of your site inspection. And then obviously we also have FAMs. So those are something that we still have quite a few that will be taking place this year. We work in conjunction with tour operators and do FAM sometimes together with them.
Yep.
So that's, going through that direction is, whatever your relationship is with the tour operator and your BDMs from there. But we also have Karisma dedicated fans as well. So those are up and coming. We've got several still. I think we still have several for the West Coast that we actually haven't pinpointed the dates. But yes, that's something that, again, your relationship with your BDM is super important because then they'll consider you.
Okay, that's amazing. That's it. Keep in touch with everyone, right? Terrence is asking, at the villa, is a butler and chef service included or is an upcharge?
No, it's included.
Oh, that's great. And would you happen to know the weight requirements for the water slides? Deanna's asking.
The weight requirements,
Or
ooh,
is it
no,
height, I guess?
height I know is one thing, but I like height, and I don't even know what the height is, to be honest. Like it's just,
Okay.
yeah. I'm sorry, I don't know the answer to that question, but I will find out.
And we're going to send B all the questions as well if we can't get to them all for sure. Marcy's asking, do you know the cost of the taco bar?
I believe it's $115.
Okay, I love it.
And
Uh,
you can get larger ones depending on the size of your party.
I know Kelly, our owner here, she has been to Margaritaville and she had a floating taco bar in the pool and everything. And she sent me pictures. I'm like, oh my God, like it looks so fun. I love it. Okay, so Gina, yep, if you want to experience the properties, we already talked about that. Neil says, thank you so much for your training today, and he really values the partnership. Aw,
Oh, thank you. It's so nice to hear positive comments.
yes. And Mick's asking, do the charisma points expire?
Um, that's a good question. With the new program, they will not.
Oh,
Yeah, so we will be sending out detailed information on that because there was a program previous to that I'm not going to say the name. Um,
yep.
but yeah, so they will not. Anything that is prior to when the program, like let's just hypothetically say it's July 1st, anything before that will be sort of part of the previous program. Anything new will not expire.
Okay. And Neil's asking, are the resorts LGBTQ friendly?
Yes.
Okay. And Cindy's asking, do you offer service dogs at any of your resorts?
Uh, like accept them or offer
Yes.
them?
So we allow them.
Oh, okay. I was like, okay. Yes, we do.
Okay, great. All right. Donna's saying, I logged into the portal, but I cannot find anything for reservations.
Like for reservations for you to make a reservation as a travel
Like
advisor.
I believe a direct booking.
Yeah, it's there. I hold on if I don't have it open right now, but on the top right hand side, there should be a book now, or book here or something like that. There should be a little box there. So I'm gonna see if I can, you know what, I'm gonna just see if I'll open it right now because otherwise I'm losing my mind.
That's okay.
You
Um,
do you do have to be able, to sign. You have to have like a username and password. So yeah, it says book now. It's there.
okay, no problem. Erica, can you just let me know on Zoom what you mean about the travel hub
Yeah.
QR? I think she was
Oh,
having trouble with the travel hub QR that you shared with the list of links. If that's it, Erica, is that what you meant? Let me know.
yeah. And for the book now, I can't remember who was asking about that. Please reach out to us if you are having some issues and we can help you out there too.
Sure. Nick says Charisma Cares. Love it. Okay, so Janice says, sorry, I saw the list of BDMs and their location, but I did not hear how it's decided. I'm in Texas with a host agency that is in Florida. So how does that work?
It is based on where you are located.
Okay, great. All right.
So your BDM is Deanna.
Great. Let's see here. Okay, Erica, is there a link that says the official photos, but she needs a login to get to the photos so she can share them, I believe, with social media and to promote you guys.
Yes, it's on our charismatravelagency.com, and I believe it's also on your spoiled agent site.
All right, perfect. Erica, hopefully that clears that up.
Yeah. And again, if you have any issues and to any of these things, please reach out to your BDM and we'll help sort you out.
Okay. Ariane's asking on Zoom, just curious, will there be a charge to agents joining the new loyalty program?
No charge. That's another one. No charge.
All right. Is Diana the BDM for Ohio? Do you know?
Yes.
There you go. Donna said I logged in, clicked book now, but it takes me to the login again, and then an error. So reach out to B or to the team,
Yes,
Donna, and they're definitely there to help you for sure.
please.
Okay, here we go. Erica's kind of, she's being a little more specific. Thank you so much, Erica. We appreciate it. On the Travel Hub, it says something that says Charisma Official Photo Library. But when you click on it, it requires a login. So do we
Correct.
have to access these as travel advisors?
I can, again, you can, if I stop sharing my screen for a second, I can
Sure,
tell you what that is. One
sure, go
second.
for it. Yeah, yeah, no problem.
Okay, let me find it because
Get
I
this
can
for you
tell
there,
you what
Miss
that is.
Erica.
That way I can just answer your question. Talk about top service here.
And
What an
while you're
efficient.
doing that, I'm just going to let everyone know they're asking about BDMs. They're all listed on spoiledagent.com under Charisma, Canada and US. They're all there for you guys. So if you need your specific BDM, you can access that. Again, incentives, agent rates, it's all there for you. Gina, we're just getting the QR code. Everything's all ready. Just we're giving B a moment.
Okay, wait. And so this was for the photo gallery, right?
Right.
Or
Yes.
yeah, okay.
For
So
Erica.
I'm just gonna hold on a second. Can I put this in a chat? Where is it? Yeah, it is.
And if you just click everybody in the chat and the drop down
Hosts and panelists.
and
Oh
then
no,
click
I have to do
everyone.
drop down.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Perfect.
Okay, and
He is so
everyone.
efficient. Everything's
Da, da, da,
efficient.
da, 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 da. Okay, I think now I just need to send.
That's okay.
I thought I was efficient, and then I just why isn't it? Okay, enter. Okay, there we go.
Okay. Yay. There it is, everyone.
So
I'm gonna
yeah, so if for whatever reason that doesn't work, please reach out.
and I'm gonna add it to Facebook, everyone, just so you have it as well. Thanks for that. Thank you so much. Oh, and there's the password. Everything's there for you guys. Wow, that's great. You guys had a really, really good turnout today. And don't forget that, of course, we're going to, B is going to be giving away a 3-night stay for a lucky spoiled agent at the Margaritaville Island Reserve Riviera Cancun. So if you get an email from B next week, open it. Like, wow, it's really good news.
It's
And if
not
you
junk
go
mail.
down there, please take a picture and send it to us. I love to see when people travel when they are on our prize winners. We love that as well. Yes, and don't forget, of course, to enter Spoiled Agent for our appreciation month. We love it. Thank you so much for that as well. Of course, Neil, everyone wins everywhere. We love it. And we love that we get to spoil our spoiled agents with amazing partners like B and our whole team from Charisma Hotel and Resorts. And again, for me, it was a little reunion for me to see B today, I'll be honest. And it was so great to connect with you and our spoiled agents across Canada and the US. Lots of amazing comments, B, we're going to share with you so you can take a look. And any comments you wanted to respond to independently, you can do that as well. But thank you for your time. We know you're a very busy lady.
No, thank you. I really appreciate it. Always here for you guys. Please know that we're here to support you and anything we can do. We try to think outside the box. And, I always say, no is not the answer. And if we don't know something like, for example, that height and weight, you kind of caught me off guard, but we'll find out. So please reach out to us with any doubts, questions, support that we can give you.